Here we have another unboxing from Speedcube Shop. I think this is going to be quite a different unboxing than what I normally do because these two cubes are pretty much set up, and I wanted to try out Speedcube Shop's lubrication service and setup service, so I have two different cubes here. One of them I actually wanted to try out for a little while, and another one's also the same cube I've actually had, but we'll get into that later. So I think I'm actually most excited about the XT3 V1, and this is the Max Park Pro series of this cube, so I'm actually quite excited. Let's open it up. We got a card here, got the X team, the cube. Actually, I want to see what's in this accessories box. Another X-Man bag, a microfiber cloth, and the original center cap. Now for the cube. Let's do some first turns. Let's try corner cutting. Okay, it's actually pretty good. Reverse. Yeah, it's quite good too, although it is a little bit more like snappy. I think over here it's kind of difficult. It does feel a lot like a Tornado V3. I think of course because it is kind of like a slightly like simplified Tornado V3, so I think no wonder why it kind of feels like that. And there's also no adjustable magnets because of the fact that it's also kind of a slightly cheaper one. But I kind of like how these magnet capsules look. It kind of does remind me of like the GAN X's magnet capsules. I think let's do a solve. I remember almost forgetting to do a solve when I got the Hyudong. Okay, honestly a pretty good first solve, considering that all the solves that I normally do in an unboxing never typically are that great, at least for the first try. So yeah, I honestly really like how this feels. It kind of has like a feeling where it feels like pretty like much like out of the box, but also it still also is like kind of pretty much set up. I actually don't really know what this is set up with, but I think I can probably use it like this. It's pretty nice. I'm pretty sure if I just take the center cap off, it uses pretty much the same customization system as the Qi and Pro. And because it actually uses a screw, I feel like it actually would be really easy to swap the maglev with springs if I wanted to. But I think just in case it gets like really fast, I'll probably do that. But I think for now with the setup, at least while I'm testing it, I think I'll probably keep it like this for now. Like it actually turns like, pretty well. I'm probably gonna put my thoughts on like what I think about this cube right at the end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned. And if you want to get any cube like this or this, be sure to go to speedcubeshop.com and use discount code J to get 5% off your order. Thank you to Speedcube Shop for sending me these cubes to test out, and yeah, if you use my discount code, I'll really appreciate it. And now for the WRM maglev with Cosmic service. So yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever gotten like a Cosmic cube ever. Normally I just set cubes up myself, and I've gotten other setup cubes before, but yeah, I think this is the first time I've had like a setup cube from SCS, so yeah, it's pretty nice. We got this box that they have for some reason. I actually already have a Worm 2021 maglev, but I don't use that one because I actually got that signed by Max Park, and I kind of want to keep it that way. So now I have another one. Okay, this is my first turns. So not used to this cube. It's also really quiet. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm honestly really liking it how it is. Because I feel like sometimes my other Worm 2021 maglev feels really fast, and I think this one just feels like really controllable, and I think that like mainly the Cosmic setup is made to be more controllable, and I think that's kind of what makes this cube, at least for what I'm turning right now, work pretty good. I don't feel like I'm overshooting that much, and yeah, let's do a solve. Yeah, I think they kind of actually made it feel a lot more softer than the other War in 2021 have. I think this cube is actually starting to make me question, like, do we really need all of like the core magnets and stuff that we have in like other cubes? Feels really stable. I'm really enjoying how these cubes feel right now. I think I obviously got to do a little bit more testing, but I'm gonna do some testing on this cube and I'm gonna get back to you with what I think about these two cubes. So first off, let's talk about the X-Man XT3 V1. It's really quite good. It has that similar stable but slightly flexible feeling of the Tornado V3, but way more simplified. I've been using it for a few days now, and I've been getting good times using this cube, and also really bad times sometimes, but that's because I'm bad at cubing and was also practicing at 1 AM. So if you have this cube and you're not good at cubing, it's because you're not good at cubing, and you don't have to blame it on this cube because this cube is really good. But seriously, the way SCS set it up was really interesting. It has a really papery smooth feel while also being somewhat fast and controllable, which worked really well for me during solves. I would recommend this cube, and if you are inspired by Max Park, then you can get this cube, but I also would recommend getting the standard version since it is a bit more controllable than the maglev version I have, but I feel like both versions do have their own pros and cons, and they're good in their own ways. The adjustment system is similar to the Qi M Pro, so it's not that overwhelming, but you do have to mess with the screw a little bit. This cube is definitely better than the Tornado V4, and it also doesn't have that problem with the V3 where if you corner twist, it would catch on the magnet adjustment, particularly since this doesn't actually have adjustable magnets, so quality of life in terms of that is slightly improved. Next, let's talk about the Cosmic WRM 2021 maglev. I actually have another WRM 2021 maglev, but I don't really use that one anymore since I got that one signed by Max Park once at a competition, and I want to keep that cube as good as it can. I think this cube reminds me of why I like the WRM 2021 in the first place. It has a really smooth feel and not too clacky sound, and the setup made it really controllable. I got really good times with this cube, and it kind of made me question whether we really need some of the extra cubing innovations or features like corner-to-core magnets, those extra magnets on the corner feet on the Hudong, or anything else. I did have to loosen the cube a bit because there is something with the WRM 2021 maglev where if you compress the maglev just even a little bit, the turning doesn't feel as great or as flexible as it is on its loosest settings. So if you do want to get this cube, be sure to loosen the maglev settings and maybe even the screw. But the other parts of the loot setup were really good and brought a slightly softer feeling to the cube. There are other cubes on the market that have a bit more features than this cube, like the Worm V9, the V10, the XT3, etc. But testing this cube again reminds me of how good this cube is still despite that. I think SCS did a great job in terms of setting both of these cubes up, and if you want to get a cube but don't really know how to set one up, choosing their Supernova or Cosmic services or even buying a creator or collab cube like the Max Park XT3 that I have here is definitely a good option.